back again in the new video. So today we are doing the same thing, working on the calculate function with some new exercises. So today the exercise is by using the calculate function index measure to add the filter expression. So this is the exercise. You can go on website, you can go and click here and you can download the file. So I have already downloaded the file. This is how the file looks like. So we will be adding the measure to the music measure table, which is this one, music measure. Here we have already the count album and then count tracks. So we will be adding these four measures. So let's get started. So first is this count top 10. I will just copy the name from here. I will go here, click on the new measure, and then I will add a measure called the count top 10 albums. So I need to count the albums. Yeah, count the albums whose US billboard is this. Calculate count albums, and I will add the filter where US billboard peaks at US billboard peak 200 peak is less than or equal to 10, less than equal to 10. Enter. So this is how our measure should look like in the table. I will add this here, and then some sales top 10 albums. I will add some sales top 10 albums where we will use calculate sum of US sales M field in album table for the album which made it to top 10. So if I do calculate sum of US sales M and I filter the album table, only the album table and album table for album which made it to top 10 album. Oh, we can add this count top 10 albums like this only. Placeholder. Okay, so it is album oh sorry, equal to, I can write it as equal to and then enter. Nope, not working. Some of the US sales in the album field in the album table for album which made it to into the top 10. So album we will need, so US billboard should I take, or I think I should take US billboard. So what I can do, I can write it as this, where US billboard peak is less than equal to 10. And if I add this here, let's check sum of sales. Taylor Swift 39.35 5, Taylor Swift 39.35, yes, and Bruce Springsteen 51.70. Bruce 51.7, yes, this is accurate. Now we will add another measure called count number 1. Count number 1 album, where we will count the album which reached the number 1 spot in US Billboard. So we will be using calculate count album, am I right? Yeah, so we will be using the count album here, and then number 1 spot, US Billboard 200, I think 200, yeah, US Billboard 200 peak is equal to 1. It's like the top 1%, so I will just add it here. So if I sort this by descending order, then 13th number Taylor Swift and Bruce, 12 number, yep. So the next is sum of sales number 1 album, which is this one. Sum of the album sales for album which reached the number 1. I think the same thing. Calculate sum of, no, not this, sum album sum of sales. Okay, so sales, sum of sales in millions where the reached is number 1, where US Billboard 200 equal to 1. So if I add this also in the table, then this is 33.60, 39.03. yes, till here we are correct. Now we will add 2 more measures. Okay, there are a lot of measures here, so we will add 2 more measures. The one is create the following measure, like percentage of top 10 albums. So I will just copy the name here. I will go and add a new measure called percentage top 10 albums. So what we need to do, we need to divide the count of top 10 albums by count of albums. Okay, so we need to divide count of so let's do one thing. We can make it as variable where we will name it as numerator, which is calculate count of top 10 albums. Do we have, yeah, we have this measure called top 10 album. So we can directly take divide count top 10 albums comma by count of albums, enter. So if I put this measure into my table like this, and I will convert it into percentage, then it should give me, for if I drop this as descending, so Bruno Mars 100%, no, top 10, yeah, Harry Styles 100, so these are the values for 100. So like Harry Styles, Justin Timberlake, Taylor Swift, if the Taylor Swift's number matches with 88.24%, then we are okay. Taylor Swift 88.24, yes, so we are accurate on this. And now we will be taking one more measure called number of albums. So what we need to do, the divide the count of number one album by the count of albums. So we will be dividing count number one albums with count of albums, and I will be dropping this in the table and converting it into the percentage. And now we will be sorting it by descending order. And see, after sorting it in the descending order, we get Harry Styles, Justin Timberlake, One Direction, Taylor Swift, same as here, and the percentage is 180 80 76, 180 80 76.47. So that's accurate. So now it's telling that we need to create more measures, like count singles. So if I go here, it's telling that create a new matrix which to display the new measures you have created, sort it in descending order by count of singles. Okay, so we can drag this here like this, and artist, yeah. So I can go and copy this and paste it here, drag this. So now I will need to make for the tracks, so I will delete all these measures. So I will put tracks, count of tracks. Now count singles, let's make one measure for count singles. Count singles is equal to count tracks which released as singles. For example, where the single release date field is not blank. So count singles will be count tracks where calculate count tracks filter where single release date is not blank. Let's see if it is work or not. Does it or not? If I click here and if I check for Taylor Swift, it's 55. Taylor Swift 55, yes, great. Michael Jackson 60. Michael Jackson 60, yes. Okay, so count top 10 singles. So I will add one more measure where the condition is count track which were released as singles. Okay, like the count singles here, count tracks which were released singles and whose US Billboard hot peak field is 10 or less. So I will be using calculate with count singles that we have made, and the filter context for US Billboard 200 less than equal to 10, and I will be adding this here. So I will be checking count top 10 singles, 45 for Michael Jackson and 31 for Taylor Swift. Michael Jackson 40, no, it's not working correctly. Count top 10 singles where singles and whose Billboard. Okay, so it was 100 peak, not 200, so I've taken 200. So instead of 200 I will be taking 100 and enter. Sorry, US Billboard 100, whose US Billboard Hot 100, US Hot 100 peak is this. Yep, sorry. So Michael Jackson 45 and 31 for Taylor Swift 31. Yes, we are getting the accurate values. Now we will be adding one more measure, a lot of measures in this exercise, equal to this. So sum the US sales field in the track table for single which made into top 10. So so we will be using calculate some function and US sales which made into top 10 100, like US Billboard 100 less than equal to 10. So I will be adding this in the table, and let's see, 70 85 Taylor Swift 85 point something we have is Taylor Swift is 39 here. How come 30? Sum of US sales in the track table. Oh, I've taken the album, not the track. Okay, so I will be taking US sales from track. Taylor Swift 85.20 and Michael Jackson 70.21. Michael Jackson 71. Yes, we are getting accurate value for this. Now next measure is count number of singles. One, I will be adding the measure, clicking here, is equal to, and count single which made it to the top spot in the US Billboard 100. Top spot is like 1. So count of singles, so let's say if I take calculate count of singles where it make to US Billboard 100 equal to 1, and I will be adding it here. So if I sort it by descending order, then 12 10 Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, yes, and the last one is this sum of sales for the singles. So I will be adding this measure and then using calculate sum of this is from track table, right? Track table US, and then filtering it with the US Billboard 100 peak equal to 1, the top one single. So I will be adding this into the table. So 40 is 37.20, 40 37.20. Yeah, so yeah, till here we are okay and everything is accurate. You can just practice this, and if you have any doubts you can just mention in the comment. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.